Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel with another deck review, another journey through the Strange Lands Oracle. This is the second edition. This is the companion oracle deck to the Circle Tarot, and it is by Marisa de la Peña. circletarot.com or on Etsy, I believe. I will link where you can get this deck from in the video description. It is a 43 card deck, and let's start. So, the packaging, it comes in this beautiful box. It is a very sturdy box, matte finish. It is easy to open. These are the sides, and this is the back. It should be easy to open, but when the cards aren't in, it is a little bit difficult to open it because it has no grip openings on the side. With the cards in it, because their weight, it is easy to open, but without that weight it is a little bit difficult. So this is the inside. No inside printing there except for this overlapping on the sides, but it is a very sturdy, beautiful box. But this deck not only comes in this box, but you get an pouch with it as well, where you can store it. So you can choose if you want the deck to be in its box, or if you want a pouch, a little bag instead. And these bags are handmade, hand colored, so they're unique. And because I have the Circle Tarot and the Strange Lands Oracle, I have two of those. I can't remember which one came with the Strange Lands Oracle and which one with the Circle Tarot, so I show you both. But it could also be that you will get a different one. I don't know. So these are your package choices with this deck. You get both. And then we come to the guidebook. The guidebook is not a bound book, but more of a folder, an exercise book. It has a matte finish, Strange Lands on it. This is the front, this is the back, and it is very simple. So you have hello and welcome, and a little introduction to the deck, and then it goes right into the card meanings. There are no spreads or other things in there besides this little introduction and the card meanings, and you have for each card the number, the title, a little black and white image of the card, and a few sentences about it. It is not a very in-depth interpretation of the card, but just a basis to step up from and to get an idea of what the author and the illustrator thought about this and what this card could mean. But I think it is definitely enough to work with this deck, to understand the cards, and then you can go from there with your own meanings and interpretations. The cards are also numbered, so it is easy to find them in the guidebook as well. So, in the end, I will pick a card and I will read the information in the guidebook for this card so you can get a feel of what the guidebook is like and of how it reads. So the cards, this is the back of the cards. And you can see there that the illustration and the artwork will be a little outer space, a little bit crazy, a little bit out of reality, sometimes a little bit creepy. It is a very, very colorful deck. As you can see, very bright colors are used in this as well. Card quality and card stock wise, it has a sheen to it, so it is not completely matte, but it is not very glossy, so it is good to work with. The cards are flexible. Here you can see the thickness. There are better cardstocks out there, but I think it is absolutely workable with. So we have that. As you can see, the cards are smaller cards than usual. So there are definitely a lot smaller than usual Oracle cards. Most Oracle card decks have this huge card size. They're even smaller than typical tarot decks, I would say. So this is a very handy dandy box and you can handle the deck therefore very well. You don't need much space. It is, let me see if it is actually, it is a little bit bigger than normal playing card size. A little bit wider, but otherwise it is very, it is more likely on the side of a playing card size than on an Oracle or Tarot card size. So let's start with the walkthrough. I also love on this deck especially that there are, and you will see that as we walk through the cards, there are keywords and topics which I haven't seen in any other Oracle deck, and I love when that's the case. Because I don't need 500 Oracle decks with the same 40 keywords and topics. So this is um, a very nice thing to work with. And it's not just that there are different keywords in here than you can see normally, but they make sense as well, and you can work with those very well. So I wonder sometimes why those aren't in other decks, but I have this one, so magical, the first card, so you can see the cards are borderless. We have the number up here, the title down there, and the quirky outer space image, and it is a very bright, colorful, intense deck. Definitely. Grab a star. This is a sentence or a key phrase that you don't see as often, but there are other ones in there that are even more unusual. Then we have happy race. I love that as well. You can work with that so much with your aura and your charisma and what you give out to the world comes back. So but also just with rainbow energy as well. And wishes come true. Ask yourself, I love that one as well. Ask yourself. Oftentimes, we let ourselves we think a lot of the times about what other people say and what their advice is, what they would do, but oftentimes the true answer for us and for our lives lies within ourselves. Wake up. This is one of my favorite cards or image in this deck. I love that. It always makes me laugh. Also, this snail reminds me of SpongeBob and his snail. What was it called? I can't remember. And those eyes, like, oh, I'm so tired. Let me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be on my own. And I'm bored. Love that. But a wake up call. I mean, it's definitely a needed thing sometimes. Band-Aid, number 6. Nostalgia, number 7. And this is so fitting, the image with the nostalgia word, but it is not a usual merry-go-round horse, it is a unicorn. Me time. As well, a very needed thing, because oftentimes we try to be the best mom, the best dad. We try to be the best family member who is always there, who helps when we can. Um, Also with our friends and what they want and what they need. And then we have our own lover, partner, maybe children, pets, our job, our career, but we don't think about ourselves and taking some time to just be with us and yeah, take energy for us. So me time is also very well. Love. Those rabbits are very creepy, I must say, with those red eyes and such. Urchin. Saturn's Calling. I love this card, and I think those people who aren't just interested in tarot and cartomancy, but also in astrology, which are a lot of people, will love that card too, because it throws in a little bit of astrology and the aspects of Saturn, and you can do so much with that. And Saturn's energy, it is a very interesting one. Pearl Baby, love that too. The little pearl inside the shell, and you can't see it. It is very protected, it is hidden, and you must look very closely and search for it, and then you can find the beauty within. Then you have that beauty within ourselves. The beauty isn't just what we can see on the outside, but it comes from within as well. So, and the aspect of how a pearl becomes a pearl because of pain and protection. It is a protection mechanism of the shell. So from pain comes beauty as well. So there are 3 aspects just for this card. I love that. Higher thinking. So you can look at this card in terms of your higher self, your third eye, your intuition, um, your life experience. Fast growing. I love that illustration for fast growing because it don't just talks about or shows the fast growing of the mushrooms, but it also shows that there is an ending, and because of that ending, those of that tree, those mushrooms were able to grow. So you have that aspect in there as well. Moving up, this is also a very fun card. What the? So when I first saw this card, I liked it. I liked the illustration. I liked that this was a different one, but I thought, if this card shows up in a reading, what will I get out of that? And it is very interesting when this actually happens, because this card can talk about a lot of things, but it is very helpful. Uncertain. With the butterfly, you're not very sure which way is up and which way is down. If you turn it around, you have an angry face, creepy face, and if you turn it that way, you have a happy, cute face. So uncertain, inner conflict, all of that. Clairvoyance, of course. Growth. Love that we have those two aspects here again with the skull down here and then the egg which is broken up and then the growing flowers out of those egg. So you have already a few different aspects in this card, in this illustration as well. Anxiety. Love that illustration for anxiety. Create with the naked butt down there as well. Blues, very sad. Talk. So we have two snakes communicating, or you can see it as one snake communicating with itself, and listen to its inner voice also. And those communication with those what is it called? My brain totally blanks. Infinity sign. Protect. Fear. This is a very good card as well because it is a shadow back there and it looks like it has those creepy red eyes, but it could also just be a shadow um, from a woman who has her hair tied to tails, and those aren't eyes but just the space between her neck and her hair. So oftentimes fear is unnecessary and just holding us back. Cicada or cicada, I don't know. Sorry if I'm butchering some names here. But this is also an interesting card. At the beginning, I didn't know what this was all about because I didn't know this being, this animal. And then I read in the guidebook, and this has a very interesting meaning. Forgiveness, romance. So we not only have a love card in here, but also a card for romance, which can be two very different things. So I think that is very nice to have for both of these things two cards. Persephone, Of course, the myth with Persephone, love that myth, and her mother Demeter. We have this card in here as well. Balance. The road, loved this card as well. The endless road to nowhere or everywhere. The journey. You get a feeling of wideness in here. Love that image. Songbird. Rotted. Love this one as well, that we don't just have the typical card of death, but we have the word rotted here, and this puts another layer to it and can have a whole other meaning to it. Deceptive. Cleanse. Double take. Interesting phrase to work with. Alienation. As is this whole deck, a little alienated with its imagery and its untypical creative keywords, but that's what makes it so special and why I love it. Sensitive. Maynard. Maynard. Nyx. So there's some more myth in here as well. Deep beetle. So we're coming even into Egyptian mythology. Does it work? That is a very good question to ask or to be reminded of in some readings. And the last card, sickly sweet. Very a very contrast between sick and sweet, sickly sweet, a very interesting combination to work with as well. So now I will shuffle the cards and see what comes through so I can read the meaning of the card in the guidebook for you guys. But as you can see, the cards are shuffling very well, and because they're so small, they're very well to handle. And there a card flew out, so it's interesting. Let's see what we have. What the card that I talked about that is very interesting to work with because it can have a lot of meanings. So let's see what the author says in the guidebook. And here we have it. It's like that scene in a film where a car drives over a puddle and splashes you. Your shoelace breaks, you lost your ID, and your phone screen is cracked. Nothing seems to be going your way. Don't fight it. So it can be about acceptance, about not fighting things that are necessary, and maybe thinking about the happy things as well, or that it's not as bad as it seems, or just if you have such a scene playing in your life, then just smile about it and don't get angry all the time as well. But you can also see this as um, what just happened because you can't believe it. Ne? A situation where it's too good to be real as well. Um, I had this when I worked with the card um, at some point as well for the meaning. So very different energies that come with this card. So this was that. Then let's look at the rating for the Strange Lands Oracle. So the packaging, you have two options. You have one, the very sturdy, handy mini box for the deck, or you have a little bag to store it in. So you have two options, which one you like better. And the box is very sturdy, very well handleable, so 9 out of 10. There are even more luxury boxes and beautiful boxes, um so I just gave it 9 out of 10, not the full points, because I need a little bit space upwards. The guidebook is absolutely good to, yeah, it gives you the information you need to be able to work with this deck very well. But there are other guides, so it is absolutely perfect for this deck, I guess. But there are even other guidebooks who give you a deeper interpretation, who give you spreads and a lot of other things and informations. Also, quality wise, it is absolutely good to work with, but you have other guidebooks which have which are full colored and so on. So 7 out of 10. The cards, I love the images. I love the keywords in there. The images speak definitely to the keywords and fit that perfectly. Um, the keywords in there are something special, something unique, and that's why I love this deck so much. I love that the cards on the smaller side, so even if you haven't a very huge space to lay spreads or something, you can work with those as well. Card quality, it's absolutely okay. So 9 out of 10, but just because the card quality, there are even better card qualities out there. Um, so overall, 25 out of 30, so a very good deck to work with. Not much complaints. Those little complaints that I talked about are out of a very picky kind of perspective, very strict, but overall, it is a wonderful deck to work with, and a deck for new insights and for new ways of thinking and interpreting because of those unusual keywords and this very unusual art style. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you to decide if you want this deck or not. Yeah, and I hope I will see you in the next video. The where you can get this deck will be linked in the description box. And then until the next video, bye.